I spent 3 hours this morning in Zoom meeting presentations and Q&As with NVIDIA about their brand new graphics cards. So let's talk about whether or not your wallet is going to commit seppuku next month. Huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Elgato, and their recently-ish released Wave 1 and 3 USB microphones. If you've been in my streams at all, you know the Elgato Wave is the only USB mic I really recommend right now. Because while lots of USB mics sound great, only one of them gives you the control that you usually only get with an XLR setup. And this is because the Wave comes with its own WaveLink software, which is not only incredibly powerful, but also very simple and intuitive. It allows you to change individual volumes like your game volume or your teammate volume or your music volume or your microphone volume. And each one of these audio channels not only has controls for how much the stream hears, but it also has controls for how much you hear. So for example, if I'm playing with Sam and he's driving me insane, I can turn him down in my headphones while still leaving him full volume on stream. And you can make these adjustments on the fly, either using the software on the PC, your Stream Deck, or even your phone. If you're looking to pick one up, they should be in stock sometime this week. Use the link in the description below. And by the way, this whole conversation about GPUs, I'd love to continue talking with you guys and hear your opinions on my Twitch channel. We spend a lot of time in just chatting, talking about this kind of gear. So link to my Twitch in the description down below. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. This is probably the most excited I've been about GPUs since I got into PC gaming 5 years ago. I'm fairly new to the scene. However, I've probably built 20 to 30 PCs myself. And to see this kind of leap forward in one generation is so exciting. The value of these new cards is just astronomical. I don't need to go into details. Every video on the internet has been about it for the last couple days. But for the lowest rung GPU in the new series to outperform the flagship, the highest level GPU of the previous generation, the 2080 Ti, that hasn't happened since 2004. Not to mention the 3070 is less than half the price of the 2080 Ti. Now, a lot of PC channels did predict a good solid jump, which usually happens during the second generation of a brand new technology. The first generation obviously is more focused on developing the technology. The second generation is more focused on optimizing it. But I don't think anybody expected this. I'm super pumped about these. But whether or not something is a good value is completely different of whether or not it's a good purchase for you to make. I get a lot of people who ask me in chat, should I upgrade this or should I upgrade this? And my question is usually, which one do you need and what is your budget? The answer is going to be different for a lot of people. So there are 3 main ways I wanted to think about these brand new GPUs, and all of them are super important if you're considering buying them. So let's just go through them. Let's talk about them. That way you can make a good decision for your career moving forward. I'd like to discuss the new GPUs from the gaming mindset, the streaming mindset, and the business mindset. The third one probably being the most important to anybody who watches this channel. But let's start from the gaming standpoint, because that is the side where it's easiest to justify buying one. If you are a gamer, you enjoy gaming, it's your hobby, it makes you happy, putting money that you work for at your job into a gaming rig is what you want to spend your money on, by all means. Upgrade, go for it. This is the farthest GPUs have ever gotten in a single jump. The performance per dollar on these GPUs is insane. Like for the 3070 to be priced at $500 and to outperform the 2080 Ti, which was $1,200, $1,300, sometimes up to $1,400. Not to mention the 3090, which people are saying, I can't believe it's $1,500. What an expensive GPU. You realize that thing not only replaced the RTX Titan, which was $2,500, but also blows that card out of the water for $1,000 less. I mean, if there is a time to buy a GPU, it's now. And if you've got the money and it's time for you to upgrade, by all means, go for it. That's all I have to say to gamers. You've probably researched it enough. You don't need me telling you how many tensor cores and teraflops. You know all that. We all know all that by now. Treat yourself responsibly. But when it comes to the streaming mindset, things change a little bit. One being that they didn't upgrade the streaming capabilities in the cards at all. It is still the exact same encoder. Your quality will look the same. So if you're running a 2 PC setup, do not bother upgrading the GPU in your streaming PC. You won't notice a difference. However, the single PC streamers who are considering this need to look at this in 2 ways. Number one, even though there won't be any improvement in stream quality on NVENC is already fantastic with the last GPUs. Rivals X264 medium in quality. It's incredibly efficient and it takes a huge load off of your PC. That being said, when you're on a single PC setup, your game and your stream are always still fighting for resources. Beefing up your GPU with more resources will allow your stream to do its thing while really beefing up your frames in game. So now if you want to game in 1440p, 144 hertz, or game in 4K if you want, while streaming on the same PC, that's becoming a reality for a very cost-efficient price, for $500. The other thing kind of slid underneath the radar and not a lot of people noticed it. There was a paragraph on NVIDIA's website talking about their AV1 codec, which is a much more efficient codec than H.264 that we're using right now. And that NVIDIA is working with Twitch on this codec so that sometime in the near future, we'll be able to watch streams in 1440p 120 hertz. Watching high frame rate streams could be really cool with all the new flagship phones coming out with high refresh rate screens. I don't fully understand how these cards play into that. They didn't really give a lot of details. And these cards, as far as I know, only have an AV1 decoder, meaning it can receive an AV1 signal and decode it. It doesn't have an encoder, so it can't send off an AV1 signal. So we'll just kind of have to see how that pans out, but it's very exciting. But the last interesting thing about buying this as a streamer comes from why you are purchasing it. There's a reason that people spending money on gaming is encouraged, while people spending money on streaming often has a really bad stigma to it. There's a reason I have to be super careful when encouraging you guys to buy gear, and there's a reason I give so many budget options. Because at the end of the day, if you buy this for gaming, it means it's your hobby, it means you have the money for it, it's something that makes you happy, go for it. You should buy things that make you happy. If you're buying it for streaming, it's an investment. It's something that you're paying for, hoping that it will boost your stream and recoup its value. And there are a lot of expensive purchases that aren't gonna change the success of your stream at all. People who spent money on gaming rigs got the enjoyment out of it, but people who spent thousands of dollars on streaming rigs only to give up a couple years later feel like that money was wasted, which is why number 3 is talking about it as a business. When you are investing in your business or your stream in this situation, every purchase you make, you need to ask yourself, is this money going towards this piece of gear going to recoup itself over a period of time that makes it worth it? If you can't see this piece of equipment bringing you back a return on your investment, it doesn't matter the value of the card versus the previous generation. It's a bad investment. And being a part of this community and being as close and interacting with you guys on Twitter as much as I do, I see a lot of you guys spending serious cash on stuff that's not going to bring you back any returns. And for this reason, I've talked a lot about money on this channel recently and things that I encourage you guys to spend money on versus what you typically spend money on. Now, if you are on a single PC setup that is dropping frames and struggling and you can't get a good streaming experience out of it, that is a good business investment. If you are a pro grade gamer where people watch you for your gameplay, and if you want those extra frames and resolution to hit headshots easier, that's a good business investment. If you have a 2080 Ti and you play Fall Guys or Minecraft or just chatting, that is not a good investment. And even in those situations, it's not black and white. If you've got some desk job that pays you $500,000 a year and streaming is your escape, and you've got the money to blow on it, by all means, get yourself a 3090. You deserve it. That is not touching your bank account in any noticeable way. But if you are like me 2 years ago, when I had no viewers, no subscribers on YouTube, I had a very low paying job and a wife that I needed to take care of, the PC upgrades that I remember making at that point make me cringe now, because that was money very poorly spent. My viewers didn't notice anything different. It's not like it made watching my streams more fun. I never recouped that investment based off of those purchases. And look, if you're excited to buy a 3070 for $500 and I'm pulling you down, keep in mind, you do you know your situation much more than I do. And these are, in theory, if it's all true, these are amazing cards. I'm super pumped about it. I will be making as many videos as possible as these get released. I'll be probably buying them all full price just so I can test them and show you the results. Maybe once this channel hits 1 million subs, we'll start getting those early cards for YouTube videos. But not yet. Not yet. Anyway, if you're planning on getting one, I'm super pumped for you. Have fun with it. You deserve it. And if this gave you any help at all and you want to support the channel, the best way you can do that is hitting the like button on the channel. It boosts this video up in the algorithm and it helps more than you know. I'll see you in my next Twitch stream to talk more about these. And as always, happy streaming.
It's Fall Guy 5214. Whoever you are, I'm sorry your parents didn't love you as a child. I'm sorry you had no friends. I'm sorry that the world has caused you so much pain that you feel the need to cheat at Fall Guys.